Chapter 3: The Vision We Require. The cynic knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. Oscar Wilde. Be punctual. Don't waste my time. The one, the only, Colin Powell. It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not lived at all, in which case you fail by default. J.K. Rowling. The value is the life fulfilled. We live in a chaotic world, and there is plenty of dark intent. Yet, this gives us an opportunity to be the light. The question is, how diligently will we work to be the role model? How much focus and effort will we bring to our days to assist others? How many bold challenges will we share to help others rise? Ask yourself, can you demand it necessary to make the world better? You need to start thinking about specific steps to take within the next 3 months to further your development. A vision for your life will be beneficial in doing this. Once you start learning how to change your life habits, you will likely reach a new conclusion. People avoid creating a vision for their lives because they believe the action is worthless and in many cases hopeless. Even when people write down and create a vision, many do not make it part of everything they do, and thus inevitably never reach their highest aspirations. You must make it part of your daily actions. Too many people think, why make a vision if there is no way to accomplish it anyway? I have cried myself to sleep thinking about the lives wasted. Sometimes I go to the cemetery to remember what I need to do. I cannot help but being depressed by someone who feels they have no way out anymore. A vision for your life will change this. Even if you are in the streets, in prison, injured, or feel ruined in life this far, the fight is not over for you. It is not some dark magic that will change your life. It is your belief in your vision. Even if it sounds silly, you will find great benefit in it. Not only that, but you will have something to point toward when everything feels lost. One significant difference between regular people and exceptionally accomplished people is that they all have vision of their lives. Do they know what comes next? No. They focus on who they want to be at the end of their lives. And when I say focus, they think about the actions they take every day and what kind of person they are becoming. They see the future clearly because they understand who they are and what they are to become. Many people I know are stuck and appear hopeless, passing the time without joy or aspiration. Clearly, those people do not have a vision. In fact, many of them do not even have long-term goals. This was painfully clear when I visited a town I grew up in and met some people I went to school with. Many were utterly lost in life and needed real assistance and motivation. The best way to bring your vision into being is by generating something you deeply care about becoming. To assist you with this, I want you to consider how we can create a vision for your life. Consider this question. Does having a vision make you better able to change your life? Or does being able to change your life make a vision possible? Either option you choose can work. I will explain. There is no denying that changing your life and having a vision are where we need to start. They are interdependent and complementary of one another. One will jumpstart the other. Find the motivation to change your life and you will be able to create a vision for it. Or create a vision for your life and then learn how to change it. What's the difference between a life vision and long-term goals? Goals are individual experiences and accomplishments you strive for. A vision is the bigger picture. Your life's vision defines who you want to be, what you want to be known for, and the set of experiences and accomplishments you aim for. Your vision helps define the goals by giving you a framework to evaluate those goals. Plan to do a vision for your life and complete 2, 5, and 10-year plans. To do this, you must outline the specific action steps along the way you will need to take to achieve each individual goal that builds upon your vision. It takes research to find the best path. For example, maybe you need to plan to study a skill you need in the modern world, like coding. This will further your development because it will enable you to take the necessary steps required to improve. Putting it on the calendar makes it real and holds you accountable. Goals need to be on the calendar. If the goals are not on the calendar, they might as well not exist. This is because there is not a deadline. You need to give yourself deadlines. You need to focus on what pivotal things you will need to improve on the most to bring your best self to the world. And, very importantly, you will need to identify those things before beginning to improve on a specific skill. Mapping out short-term goals that build for the long term is not suggested. It is required. A vision gives you a backward plan for your life. This is because you know you can never be lost again. It is your compass. Start at the end of your life and you will see the truth. What do you want to have become? Write as many as you want. Dream big. To start creating a vision for your life, first aim to answer these questions. Feel free to use a piece of paper and just write down everything you want. For example, write down, I will become, and then write a bunch of things right after that. What could you contribute to the world that would make you feel proud and content? How do you want to have lived by age 30, 40, 50, 60, 70? Or maybe even 200. What do you believe you are capable of in life? What are the most significant things you could accomplish given the right circumstances, resources, and motivation? What do you wish you could change about the world? What kind of people do you want to be surrounded by? When you die, what do you want people to say and remember about you? Through this process, you will be identifying what matters most. How should you live your life? There are a lot of things that are needed to support your life goals and vision. Chapter 11 will cover the different parts of well-being you need to focus on to assist you in your specific development. I have provided an example list for you. The items listed are those things that are required for you to reach your potential. You will need to generate what imperatives help you with your goals and make them a priority. These must be categories of things that matter to you. Currently, some of my list consists of 1. Health, exercise, diet, mindfulness, and gratefulness. 2. Ability, skills, knowledge, and character. 3. Relationships, developing relationships. 4. Time, using what time I have wisely. 5. Wealth, creating more worth for the world. 6. Leadership, lead by example and be a man of great character. Nothing above is set in stone, just my priorities right now to support my goals and vision. I look at this list every 3 months and consider updates. You will need a statement that describes your ideal life to help you remember. We need this so that we can always go back to our vision when our life gets upended. Life is not a rush. Slow down and think about what really matters. You will know what you need. Furthermore, this statement should be an overall description of how you want your life to become. Whether or not your plans and actions work all the time is not the point. The point is growth. Failure is inevitable. Use your vision as a map. A statement of your ideal life can be anything you wish it to be. I will read mine, but it truly can be anything you are striving for and what you want, or how you want to live. It is all up to you. Feel free to write it down wherever you want. My life vision is this. My vision is to produce something so necessary and beautiful that it contributes to the betterment of humankind. Lastly, building a system of habits for yourself will allow you to accomplish short-term and long-term goals and then achieve the vision you set. Determine an action plan that can be reevaluated every 6 weeks to support your short-term goals. A 6-week training calendar is a great organizational tool because it allows you to review how you are doing on your improvement at the halfway point, the halfway being 3 months. Setting yourself up like this gives you time required to slowly remove the negatives out of your life and space to bring in the ones you need and want. Resetting yourself is no small feat, and doing it overnight almost always leads to failure. Every 6 weeks, you can analyze objectively where you need to head in the coming weeks. You will also have time to check how you're doing day to day if you decide to score yourself from 1 to 5. Doing so can help you see problems you are unaware of. I grade myself from 1 to 5 each day and add up the average of the week to see if I'm hitting the mark. This makes you feel great about your progress. When you are not doing well, you can see it. When you see it, you can fix it. Habits, building value and principles. The principles and values imbued into each Army officer are the building blocks for making the right decision at the right time, both on and off the battlefield. Honor, courage, and commitment. The core values define how every officer will think, act, and fight. Habits will help you build values and principles. We cannot just do things the way we have always done them, expecting a new result. To be successful, you need to identify the habits you want to replace the bad habits one at a time. If you try to rid yourself of all of them, you will likely fail, unless you have a great support system. Adapt and overcome. Whatever scenario you find yourself in today, nothing goes as planned. I repeat, nothing goes as planned. Many people out there think they know the right way to live, but when you peek inside their house, it's as if a wrecking ball hit it. I have been this person before, and I believe that I knew better. Can you stay organized and consistently focused on one thing that improves you? The majority can't. How consistent have you been? You are completely capable, but without reinforcing to yourself the reasons to stay healthy and continue to strive to be better, it's damn near impossible. Still, it is not as hard as you think it would be, and it will make you a lot happier with your life. Think of it in terms of leadership. If you want to lead other people, You need to prove that you can do it first by leading yourself. You need to motivate yourself. You need to inspire yourself. And you need to prove that following your strategies is a desirable thing that leads to the results you are shooting for. With the help of a growth mindset and the accumulation of your grit through hard work, this is possible. But you must know how to apply those things to your life. Bold action trumps sitting on your couch. I want to live in a world of people who understand that we all have fixed mindsets about something, which hinders us greatly. With this self-realization, life will inevitably improve for all of us because at the very least, you become a more reasonable, conscientious, and understanding human. And I do not see the downside of that at all. In fact, much of the purpose of education is to help someone actualize this within themselves. But there are not enough people in this world teaching how to do this. They just say, go and do them and be better, when they don't even know how to sit down and read a book for at least 30 minutes a day to make their brain function better. Best of all, when you start really building habits for yourself to be better, your capability will grow, and you will be able to obtain the kind of freedom you have not yet imagined. This can take years and even decades. The real reason you can and will do this is that growth is exponential, not linear. A single step linearly is just one step. Thankfully, we are living in an exponential life. If you are struggling, it is most likely because of yourself. Even the tiniest amount of self-awareness will show you the overwhelming reason why you and many others are not doing well is because of yourself. Many problems exist in this world: business, the bathroom, the highways, and politics. And I am not saying that they don't affect your life. Yes, they do. But when you look at yourself and see that you waste hours and hours of the day, you should be sickened by the laziness you have succumbed to. You could spend those hours working and living healthier, going to the gym, calling your mom, volunteering to pick up trash. Do these things. They make a difference. Having a passion requires a vision. Do the best you can until you know better. Then, when you know better, do better. Maya Angelou. I've got a theory that if you give 100% all the time, somehow things will work out in the end. Larry Bird. Now that we understand how to establish a vision for your life, let's get down and dirty with passion. Without passion, you cannot have a vision. This is similar to how your grit level is determined by how much human malleability we fully believe in. This is serious. Life is serious. Your goals and dreams are serious. Make them real. Passion can take you to the core of the earth or to the edge of the universe. The way you talk to yourself and to. This is because the truth is that the world loves a positive and joyous person. They can change everything going wrong and lead us into our greatest longing for all humanity. Peace for all humans. Today, you can't accomplish what you want, but tomorrow you can. Did you know that Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career? 2,600 times. Yes, I did not stutter. The most in the history of baseball. But you'd never hear about that. That's because he was passionate and lived to his most excellent potential. The lesson here is to let the obstacle mark the path for you to walk. Where there is a problem, a leader is needed. That leader is you. One day, I would like to be known for enabling millions of people to have a second chance in life. I strive for it. I zealously believe in it. My foundation will never be shaken from this, and no one can change my mind about it. I tell you how much I wish to bring to this world because I want you to strive to be your best. We are only here for a short time, and I plead for you to do this. I will lead when there is a need, and I will pick up the broken. Will you? Many successful people are not remembered. It is not a priority to be remembered. Trying to be remembered is a foolish thought. The right idea is to bring something so beautiful and necessary to this world that it changes the world for the better. Positive pressure. To live a healthy and happy life, you must add pressure to yourself. This is obvious to us as eating or sleeping. Healthy pressure motivates us to do better. But we often fall into the trap of damaging stress. Damaging stress caused by your perception of the situation inevitably leads to poor outcomes. To prevent this, you need to nurture a growth mindset that will allow you to overcome and face challenges head on. In Chapter 9, we will go in depth on how to build a resilient growth mindset. You will no longer be on the defense and instead on the offense. To be healthy is to grow. Once you apply this mentality to your life, you will change and adapt. The reason for success is simple. Successful people and leaders did what they were passionate about. But being known for being great at something is not success. In fact, success is doing what you are passionate about and living a life worth striving for. There is no passion in living a life where you do not seek what you want. If you do not try, you are failing. Believe in yourself, go off the beaten path, make enemies and new friends, live a full life and go all out. See the goal you want, pressure yourself to achieve it. No one else will, and understand that some people will not like what you want. Still, others will admire you for it. Life will never be easier. Every day is hard for everyone. Nelson Mandela said, quote, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that is less than the ones capable of living." Let's do that. Stop the excuses. I am sick of it. Quit giving yourself excuses. I do not understand why your husband told you not to do it. I do not understand your best friend thinks you will fail. I only know that it's your dream and not theirs, and they can go shove it. Stop listening to these people. They are holding you back. Defying the voices that put your dreams down shows great character. Make that awfully difficult choice now, and your life will forever be yours to guide. You must make the decision to act on what you want to do. You must make the decision to act on what you want to do. Accept transformation. Doing so is the only path forward. Fear of rejection should not hold you back anymore. If you do not want to talk to the ghosts of yourself at your grave, then button up your shirt, tie your shoes, and go and fight for your life. I am sure there was a point in your life you felt like you failed. Maybe it is right now. I want you to picture that idea of failure and realize you were only struggling because you need to struggle. You cannot fail if you have a passion for the actions you take in this world. If you find what you love to do, and that is the hardest part, finding what you love to do, then you will not fail. Find that thing and take a leap of faith and choose to learn. You must be willing to jump into the unknown and stumble where you are not supposed to be. This is because finding your passion is not something that just happens. It takes years to develop. You must go far into a subject to find love of the nuances within. This will allow you to always overcome mistakes or uncertainty. There is always something new to learn and a fresh perspective to take. The graveyard is the richest place on the planet. It holds all the unfulfilled potential of everyone in it. Your goal is to be the poorest person there. You want to have spent every part of your life fruitfully. If you are having a hard time doing this, I want you to imagine a house. It holds all of your memories, and it has caught fire. You have 5 minutes to grab only the most important memories to take with you for the rest of your life. Wouldn't you want to bring memories of when you had to struggle so that you could be stronger today? What would you do? What would you say? Getting started is the hardest thing. In my opinion, you have a great opportunity right now. Putting action toward your big goals and focusing on them for any amount of time at all will help you. If you can sit down and finish this book, you are doing much better than most. Doing this gives you a great advantage in the world where people have an anxiety attack because they just sat down at the toilet and realized they forgot their phone. That kind of consistent focus will make you a god among men. Seriously, that's like having a superpower in a world like this. But if you want to benefit even more from that kind of discipline, then take your time building a habit of discipline. Most people are living the way they are because they do not believe that they can Most people are living the way they are because they do not believe that they can have more than they already have, or that they don't deserve any more. They accept the reality that they have been given. When I see this kind of behavior, I say, quote, "If it is hard, then do it. You do not even know how powerful you are. You have something special. You have talents and abilities that you do not even know yet. Don't let the ghosts haunt your bed. Live life the way you want, and never, never let anybody tell you how to live it." Section: An Extraordinary Vision. Women of Chess: Susan, Sophia, and Judette. Quote, "We can't become what we need to by remaining what we are." Oprah Winfrey. Quote, "The most difficult thing is the decision to act. The rest is merely tenacity." Amelia Earhart. Women are intelligent. In many cases, their intelligence far surpasses any man. I think we need more women leaders. A society that believes women are only meant to bear children will suffer. Bring these women up and fight for the rights of all people. Extraordinary people do not become with the help and development from others. Rather, all people do. One story that relays this message is about 3 little girls who grew up to become the greatest women chess players in history. Susan, who was the oldest, became the first female grandmaster ever. The criteria to become grandmaster is the same for males or females. Sophia, the middle child, became an international master, the job just below grandmaster, between master and grandmaster. Judette, who was the youngest, became the best of all 3. She became the number 8 player, male or female, in the entire world. She beat the number 1 male player globally, including Magnus Carlsen, the number 1 player right now and has been for 9 years straight. She amazingly beat another male counterpart, Gary Kasparov, one of the best players of all time. Judette and her sisters are extraordinary, and their inspiring story shows us that we all have the potential. Judette was the number one female player for 25 straight years until she retired. Her parents didn't have an extraordinary IQ, and they weren't great chess players. They learned how to play chess so that they could teach their daughters, and that's the point. They developed these three women to be fantastic chess players, and the three of them could play blindfolded chess against 12 different masters simultaneously. This all started with an idea from their father, Laszlo Polgar of Hungary. He wanted to turn his children into geniuses. In his book, he states, quote, "I see before me a person who is sacrificial, honest, and courageous, a good person, and a family member, not egotistical, but empathetic and good-hearted, who feels responsibility, is attentive, and is capable of keeping secrets, who does not misuse their power, does not gossip, and can master their ambition, who is just, demands quality, an internationalist, and not envious, who generally behaves in a friendly way and does not judge others easily, who is persistent, has initiative, conscientious of duty, critical, self-critical, and conscientious, who relates well to learning or ignorance, and who is capable of self-education or self-perfection, who has self-control, who is sincere and strives for freedom for themselves and others, whose ethics are at a similarly high level, who is modest, able to love others, who is solidarity, tolerance, and politeness, has a healthy competitiveness, is helpful, peaceful, and well-intentioned, who shows respect to those in merit. This kind of person is an exemplary moral authority. Whoever has in themselves all of those qualities above to a high level is a moral genius, even if they never become a hero, and even if those around them never consider them to be one." End quote. He came up with the idea for his children while studying geniuses of history. In his undergraduate, he studied the biographies of 400 people considered by society to be geniuses. Each of them were the most fantastic thinkers of their time. Based on this evidence, he concluded that every prodigy child started their expertise learning at a very young age. He therefore came to believe that he could take any healthy newborn and grow them to be a genius. He thought society's belief about geniuses was ridiculous. He proclaimed to the world genius was made, not something that was fixed and born in people. Later, he wrote a book about his hypothesis called Bring Up Genius. To start his experiment, he went looking for a woman. When he met a woman named Clara, who lived in Ukraine, he fell in love. He explained to her that he wanted to take healthy newborns and grow them to become geniuses. She became excited about the idea and immediately moved to Budapest. They married and had the 3 extraordinary kids I just discussed. But why did they choose chess? There was a very strict fixed mindset about chess, and they wanted to prove it wrong. In particular, there was a fixed mindset about women in chess. This is because there had never been a grandmaster female chess player before. They improved teaching methods and gave these children the best resources they could afford in their upbringing, pushing their limits of their minds by even utilizing the difficult task of playing blindfolded chess. What was even better about chess was that there was an objective standard to measure them against. No one could deny a victory if they did it. When they play in tournaments with an objective ranking, no one can deny their intelligence. This made me think about asking something different. What about asking the question, can anybody become a great chess player? Or do these people need something different in their mind to be a great chess player? The questions I had made me dig deeper about how they learned chess. It was really intriguing how they all played blindfolded chess, which is you play a whole game of chess without looking at the board. You keep all the pieces of both players in your mind. Even more impressive, these girls played several games of blindfolded chess at a time. Judette once played 15 games of blindfolded chess and won them all. Let us all believe in this kind of extraordinary feat. We all could become something we could not imagine by pushing ourselves farther than we think we can go. It's not that you can become anything. That would be foolish thinking. But it is not the case that you are incapable of achieving your potential. You can. Mini exercise. Make your vision and put your goals on the calendar. Make deadlines for yourself and work as hard as you can to fulfill them one step at a time. Attempt grading yourself 1 to 5 daily or at least weekly. Finally, in 6 weeks, come back and see how much you have done toward your big goals. Change things that are not working. Bring the fire.